Hello, Mr. Hubbard here. I am going to walk you through the Pocket Learning packet that I gave you. We are going to work on week one, day one today. So let's get started. First things first, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need pencils. I'd rather you use pencils than pens because pens cannot be erased as easily. So pencils would be ideal. You also need some sort of folder, but I included a folder so you don't even have to worry about that. So you can keep all your stuff together. If you have an extra notebook or some paper lying around, that'd be good to have to make notes and sketch and do some things throughout these assignments. And then if you have colored pencils, markers, crayons, or some sort of coloring device, please get those as well because there will be some need for that. In addition to that, we have some directions and tips. There is a schedule for each day. You may complete the activities in any order, however, but I'm going to be doing it in the order that's presented, so you'll need to follow me if you want help. Social studies and science activities may take you more than one day to complete, so that's why they're spanning the entire week. Read the directions carefully before completing each activity. Check off the activities on your sheet as you go by so you know which ones you've already done. And make sure to plan your time so that you don't have things piling up at the end. And then after all activities are done, an adult needs to sign it, and I'll get to that. I'll show you that in a second. All right. So this is the week's layout. So we're doing week one. So this first column here, I'm just going to highlight it here. Let me grab a highlighting tool. So this is what we're doing. We're doing that part right there. We do need to do one of each subject. So we're going to look at that more in detail. But you'll notice how the reading, writing, grammar practice, and math all have small compartments, 5 different things in there. And then for social studies and science, it spans the entire length of the entire week. Because it's on the entire week, we're going to focus on it now. I'm just going to explain what you need to do. And then you can do that throughout the entire week and then report on it at the end. So, social studies, you're going to be focusing on the United States and where they are located, where each of the 50 states are located. So you're going to spend some time with a map. You might do some games, some matching, etc. Because at the end, there's a really cool thing for you to do where you have to try to name and place the states. Then for science, you're going to read about matter, gravity, sun energy, plants, and ecosystems this week. So the materials are included in the back. So you're going to get those and you're going to start reading them. Okay? All right, so that is science and social studies. Now we're going to jump to today. All right, day one. So for reading, we need to complete the worksheet called Read and Compare Character Traits. Make sure you're using text to fill in the graphic organizer. So you're actually going to pull from the text, examples from the text during this assignment. For writing, we will be doing some creative writing. We are going to design our very own emoji. So one that doesn't exist yet that we would like to see exist someday. Feel free to add colors to your emoji creation. Grammar practice is next. We're going to work on some knowledge of words. And then we are going to use context clues to try to figure out what those words mean. So we'll be doing that as an activity. Next is math. We will be calculating different time zones. So based on which time zone you're in, we're in Central Time here in Illinois, but then there's Pacific Time, there is Eastern Time, I'm sure you've heard these before, Mountain Time, and they have different times than us. They're off by hours. So we're going to be learning how to calculate different time zones. All right, let's get started. So for this assignment, we are going to read and compare character traits. So as you can see, there's pictures of 2 different characters. We're going to read about them, and we're going to look at their traits and compare them, okay? So the directions say, read about the 2 characters below, highlight words and phrases that show their external and internal traits. Then compare them using the double bubble chart on the next page. All right, so I'm going to get my highlighter, and for her, to match her shirt, I'm going to do yellow highlighter there. All right. Sasha is a 10-year-old girl. She is in 5th grade at Northgate Elementary School. Sasha has short, curly hair and brown eyes. All right, so character traits, there's 2 types of traits. There's external and internal, as mentioned up here. External are things you can see with your eyes. So like the color of their hair or eyes or the clothes they're wearing or stuff like that. So this short curly hair is an external trait. So is brown eyes. Good. All right. Sasha has a lot of friends at school. She is always very talkative and sometimes it gets her into trouble in class. Okay, so that is an internal thing, internal trait. You cannot see it, but it is something that is part of her, so it's internal. Very talkative. She's very talkative. All right. Sometimes it gets her into trouble in class, but she is a smart student. Smart student. That is a trait, an internal trait. And a kind classmate. Kind classmate is also an internal trait. Okay? So she is never in trouble for long. Her teacher understands that she is just being friendly. Friendly. All right, so Sasha is friendly. All right, today in class, Sasha's teacher, Miss Hammond, gave a math test. Sasha felt confident that she did well on the test. Math is her favorite subject. It's another internal trait. Math is her favorite. Loves math. She took the test quickly and then started talking to her friend Gabby. Shh, Miss Hammond scolded. After school, Sasha always goes to her parents' restaurant. She tries to be helpful. She's helpful. It's another internal trait. Since her parents are both very busy, usually she sweeps the floors and fills ketchup containers. Finally, when it's time for dinner, Sasha gets to pick up something from the menu. Her favorite thing to eat at the restaurant is what and injera. I'm not sure what injera is or if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it explains it further on, which is a type of stew served with bread. All right, I learned something new too. All right, so we got some good stuff in here. We've got her curly hair. We've got that she's talkative, smart, kind. She's friendly. Her favorite subject is math, and she's helpful. Okay, so those are all good things to keep in mind. All right, now we're going to look at Anil. All right, so Anil is a 5th grade student at Northgate Elementary. He'll be turning 11 next month. So he's 10 too, but he'll be 11 next month. Anil has curly black hair and hazel eyes. All right, so those are external, right? But, you'll notice it's very similar to Sasha's. So keep that in mind. Anil is very quiet in class, so he is quiet. So that's a difference between Sasha and Anil. But he enjoys talking with his best friend Grant during recess. Some people think Anil is unfriendly. Okay, so there's a direct difference. It's even the direct opposite of the word friendly is unfriendly. So that's a comparison. We know that there's a difference. But Grant knows that he is just shy. All right, so he's shy. He's not unfriendly. He's just shy. He seems unfriendly, but he's shy. Today, Anil took a math test. I think that's supposed to be test, not text. In class. He felt very nervous. Even though he was a smart kid, all right, so he's smart too, he doesn't like math very much. All right, that's another direct comparison. Let's look back at Sasha. She loves math. Math is her favorite subject. But Anil doesn't like math very much. Good. He prefers to read and write. In fact, Anil hopes to be an author one day so he can write books of his own. After school, Anil has piano lessons. He is a very talented musician. Good. That's a good trait. Then he goes home to babysit his little brother and sister. His dad works at night, so Anil has to be helpful. There's that word again. Around the house. When his mom gets home, he helps make dinner. Tonight they're having. Here's a tough word. Let's sound it out. So K makes the k, I, b, eh, kib. Which is made from meat, grains, and spices. All right, so we have a meal. It's a very similar setting, but we are done. We have highlighted several things, and I think we can go to the next page and talk about what goes where. All right, so I'm gonna get onto the next page. Here we go. All right, so we have our bubble sheet. So you'll see that there are both of their names, Sasha on this side, right here. Let's circle that. Sasha and Anil. Okay. Then we have differences, similarities, and then differences. So we need to put similarities here, here, and here. So things that Sasha and Anil have in common. Then we are putting differences in these spots. So ideally, we'll have direct differences. It's not always going to work out that way, but I think we can do that today. All right, so I'm going to get back here. All right, first one for similarities. What is something they have something similar about them, their traits? They both have curly hair. So Sasha has short curly hair, and Anil is described as having black curly hair, but they both have curly hair, so that's a similarity. All right, next we have, they both have brown eyes. Yes, they do. We could put a couple of different things in the last one. We could put that they were both smart kids because it referenced it specifically. But I'm going to pick that they were both helpful because they both helped their parents in different ways. Sasha helped at the restaurant, and Anil helped by babysitting siblings and making dinner. All right, so now let's look at some differences. So let's look at Anil first. What we got here. He is shy, and that's different than Sasha because Sasha is talkative. See how that's different? So we have talkative and we have shy. Those are different things, okay? So they're differences. We can compare them and they're different. Next is Anil seems unfriendly. Well, Sasha, what does she seem like? She seems friendly. All right, so that's a direct correlation there. Unfriendly and friendly. Even though Anil isn't actually unfriendly, which Grant tells us because he's the best friend. And he says that he's just shy. All right, and then the last one, Anil, is he does not like math. That's okay. If you don't like math, that's okay. He likes reading and writing better. That's totally fine. Sasha, though, on the other hand, loves math, loves adding those numbers together. So that is a difference between the two. All right, look at that. We filled it out. So you need to copy those words into those bubbles, and then you are done. Oh, wait. No, stop, pause. We have a name and date. All right, we need to put our name and date. So you need to get your pencil, and you're going to write your name up there, and then the date. So here it is 5/11/2020. But the day you're doing this might not be that way. You're going to put the date that it is for you right now, okay? I'm going to add a little marker to the ones because it looks like the dashes. All right, there we go. You have done the first assignment. Congratulations. All right, we are going to stop there and bump to the next topic, to the next subject. Here we go. All right, we are going to wait. All right, we're going to dive into the next topic, but before we do anything, don't forget to put your name up here and the date, today's date. So make sure to do that right off the bat. All right, we are going to design your own emoji. All right, so this is something that should be more creative, okay? I'm going to do an example. If you want to copy mine, that's okay, but I'd prefer if you do something on your own completely, okay? All right, so every year, Unicode Consortium, wow, that's a big word, Unicode Consortium, a group of tech companies and volunteers with backgrounds in coding technology and logistics approve about 50 to 100 emojis from thousands of ideas submitted from people all over the world. So that's cool. What does it take to become an emoji? In order for a panel to consider it, the emoji must be one that can be used often, as well as one that is different from existing emojis. The design should not be overly specific. It can't be an individual person, for example, but it also shouldn't be too detailed. With these parameters in mind, what emoji would you suggest to the Unicode Consortium? And how would you design it? Use the space below to draw an emoji and then write an argument of why Unicode Consortium should consider it. Be sure to visit unicode.com to review emojis that already exist. All right, so I'm going to make one myself, and then we can talk about what you could do, some ideas you could do. But I'm going to do one, and then you can do the same one. If you can't think of anything, But ideally, I'd love you to do your very own. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna do an emoji of someone. Let's see. I'm just gonna start with the head of the emoji. I'm gonna do maybe some sleepy eyes and let's see, do something off the corner. So it's colored in. Color in my emoji. And you can do whatever colors you want. You don't have to use the same colors as I am. All right, colored in. All right, now I'm doing someone sleeping and drooling. Hold on, I gotta get it darker in there in the mouth part. Not perfect, but it's all right. All right, then I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna do someone drooling, so a little drip right there, and then do blue, yeah, a little bigger. All right, close enough. We got someone drooling the side of their mouth and they're sleeping. So maybe we could do some Z's. So we'll do some Z's. Let's see here. So we got that last Z needs to be fixed. There we go. All right, so some drooling and some Z's. All right, so now I got to write an argument for why mine should be an emoji. So I'm gonna take some time to think about that for a second, and then I'll get to type in. All right, so I'm gonna look back at the top. It needs to be individual. It has to be like not too much detail. I think I got that. It's going to be different than existing emojis. So there is a sleeping emoji, but this one's specifically sleeping and drooling. So that's something that I could do. So I need to write an argument for why I think this would be good. So, of course, when writing anything, you need to start by answering the question. So if the question is, why would my emoji be good to look at or a good option, I can start it off with the question. So, my proposed emoji is a drooling while sleeping. All right, so that's what it is. There is a drooling emoji, as well as a sleeping one, but the combination of the two will be useful in many situations. Oh, got an error there. Situations. In many. Oh, in any situations. Interesting. In many situations. All right. For example, let's see if situations that it could be good for. So, for example, We could use it to tell, to show you are in a deep sleep. Or to make fun of someone who drools while sleeping. All right, so that is, I think that is good. Okay, so let's look at it as a whole. Okay. My proposed emoji is a drooling while sleeping emoji. There is a drooling emoji as well as a sleeping one, but the combination of the two will be useful in many situations. For example, you could use it to show that you are in a deep sleep or to make fun of someone who is drooling while sleeping. All right, good. I like it. So you can copy that exactly, or you can create your entire own emoji, and then you'll have to obviously justify it yourself. But that's the idea. All right, we are done. Good job, guys. Next subject. All right, we are on the last assignment of the day, math. All right, so we got to put your name up there, put your name up there, put the date up there, etc. All right, we're going to talk today about time zones. So, in the 50 states, spanned 6 time zones. So we have Pacific right here, that's Washington, Oregon, etc. Mountain, Central, Eastern, Alaskan, and Hawaii, or Hawaiian time. All right, so we have 6 different time zones. So we're going to look at the next page, and we're going to use math to determine time based on the time zones listed. All right, so we have here, Daniel and Jody are flying to Massachusetts for a wedding. If their plane leaves California at 7 a.m. Pacific time and lands in Massachusetts at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, what time will it be in California when they arrive? All right, so basically we're figuring out if it's 3:30 Eastern time, what time is it in California time? All right, so here's what I know about Pacific, okay? It is 2 hours behind us. So that means in Central time, it is 2 hours behind us because my family lives there. So whenever I talk to them and it's 5 o'clock here, that means it's 3 o'clock there. So using that logic, we can figure out that Eastern time, which is 1 hour ahead of Central time, that it is going to be 3 hours behind. Okay, so we're going to take 3. I'm going to use a smaller ink so it's easier to see. So we have 3:30. Pen is just giving me trouble. 3:30 in Massachusetts. And so we're going to look at the basically subtracting 3 hours from that. So 3:30 minus 3 hours. 0, 0. Okay. 0 minus 0 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 0. Or 3, my bad. 3 minus, that would be times. So 3, and then 3 minus 3 is 0. But in this case, because it's time, it wouldn't be 0, it would be 12. 12 p.m. Okay? So, in California, when they arrive, it will be 12:30 p.m. Okay, next. Carrie took a 24-hour train ride from Colorado to Illinois. If she arrived in Illinois at 2:45 Central Time on Wednesday, when did she leave Colorado? Okay, so we know a couple of things. We know that it is a 24-hour train ride. So we have a full day, essentially, of a train ride. We're trying to figure out what time she left Colorado. So first, we got to figure out what time she left Illinois time. If she got there at 2:45 p.m. on Wednesday. Well, that would mean 24 hours back would be the exact same time. So it would be 2:45. Then we're going to go back and look at our map. Colorado is in Mountain, and we're in Central. So it's 1 hour behind us. Okay? So with that in mind, we're just going to take 2:45, and we're going to subtract 1. And we're going to do that in our head because that's easy to do. So we're just going to say that it was... Oh, made it big again. Fix that here. 1:45 p.m. in Colorado. Good. For some reason, it won't let me do the little dots. I'm going to try. There we go. Yeah, you want the little dots to make sure you know. All right. If a live New Year's pardon me. If a live New Year's Eve TV special begins broadcasting at 10 p.m. Eastern in New York, what time should viewers in Oregon turn in? All right, so we got to look. Where's Oregon? Oregon is right here. Boo. That means that it is in Pacific time. So what time do those people need to tune in? If it starts at 10 p.m. Okay, so we know that there is a 3-hour difference between Eastern and Pacific. So let's look. So 10, we're going to take 10. And we're going to subtract 3. So minus 3. That'd be 0, 0. I can't do that. Got to borrow. Make that a 0. This is now a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. So the correct answer is 7 p.m. in Pacific time. 7:00 p.m. And then we got to do Pacific Standard Time. And we should do those for this one. So for Colorado, it would be... Oh, jump to the next page. For Colorado, it would be Mountain Time. So MST. And for this one, in California, so it would be Pacific Standard as well. Okay. Every time it does that, it jumps up. I wish I could make it the default different. All right. Chance wants to wish his cousin a happy birthday at 9 a.m. Central Time. So that's our time, Chicago time. Chance lives in Texas, and his cousin lives in Ohio. What time will it be when at his cousin's house when he calls to say happy birthday? All right, so Central Time. So we're looking at Texas, which is in Central Time, and Ohio, which is in Eastern Time. Okay, so that's a 1 hour difference. So if it is 9 a.m. Central Time, which is where Texas is, what time will it be at his cousin's house? Well, because it's Eastern Time, it's 1 hour ahead of us. So we're just going to add 1 hour, which would automatically make it 10 a.m. Oh, I'm covering up the next question. Can't do that. $10 a.m. It's more like a 6. It's supposed to be 10. All right, so we do... Oh! Okay, 10. And then we got to do the AM. And it's going to be... We're thinking what it's going to be in Ohio, which is Eastern Time. So it'd be EST. All right. All right, 2 more questions. We got this. 2 more questions. All right. What time is it in Nebraska when the sun goes down in New York at 5:20? All right, so we got to look at Nebraska. Nebraska is right here. So most of it is in Central. So we're going to go with Central. Okay. Actually, we're going to do both. I'm just going to do it as if either side of Nebraska, because we don't know. So it's either Mountain or Central. So that means it's either 1 hour behind or 2 hours behind. Okay? So, if it's 5:20 p.m. Eastern time, so that means it's going to be, if it's in the mountain time, it's going to be 2 minus. So what's 5 minus 2? That'd be 3. Okay, so we got 3 p.m. or 3:20. Gotta make sure to do the 20. 3:20 p.m. or that's I'll do smaller. That'd be Mountain Standard Time, or it is, so 5 minus 1 would be 4:20. Nope, not 4:30. 4:20, and that is p.m. and that is going to be Central Standard Time. Good. I'm gonna put the little dots in there. It's not 420 p.m. It's 4:20 p.m. All right. Abel and his family are going on a road trip from Massachusetts to Alabama. The drive will take them 18 hours. If they leave Massachusetts at 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, what time will they get to Alabama? All right, let's look. Where is Alabama? Alabama is in Central Time, barely. It's right there on the edge. So, if it takes 18 hours and they left at 5 a.m., we have to figure out what it would be in Eastern Time, because that's easiest to do. And then we'll just subtract 1 hour. Okay? All right, so 5 a.m. So count with me. So we have, it'd be 6 a.m. I'm going to do tally marks. The easiest way to do it. All right, so wait, got to do a smaller. Got it, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., or 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Okay, we're getting close. 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So it should be 11 p.m. in Massachusetts. But remember, we got to subtract an hour. So what's 11 p.m. minus 1? That would be 10 p.m. And Alabama is in Central Standard Time. All right. There we go. We did it. It took us a little bit of thinking, but we got it. Good job. We are done for today. So go relax, have fun. We will see you back here tomorrow.